Okay, today we're going to be checking out Supreme L'Homme Eau de Parfum by Fragrance World. So this is a 100 ml bottle. Again, Eau de Parfum concentration here. And what does that bottle remind you of? Probably something that you're pretty excited about if you're anything like me. And that is L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. Yeah, we have a L'Homme Ideal EDP clone here, which I can't be more excited about. These are always kind of interesting, these guirlands, because not only are they a little bit pricey, not crazy, you know, usually $95-ish, 100 ml on discounters, which isn't bad, but oftentimes they're out of stock. So even if you have the money laying around, you see the reviews, you see people talking about it, you see your friends having a bottle and loving it, and you're like, I want to get one. There's one thing holding you back, and it's not the money, it's the fact that you just can't find it. You can't buy it. And that really poses a problem with these. So the fact that now we have a clone out there in rotation and maybe some other, you know, big clone brands, and I'm looking at Paris Corner, Lattafa, things of that nature, Alhambra, all of those that kind of run together and do similar things. Alharme, maybe, who knows, brands of that nature. Maybe they'll follow suit and bang out some of these hype monsters too. But as far as I know, I think Fragrance World is the first one to do it, at least when we're talking about these clone brands. And I have to say, this one is really good, and I'm excited to dive into it with you guys today. I'm going to run through the scent, tell you how it smells if you're not familiar with it, how it performs, and just how close it is to the real deal. Really quickly before we do, if you want to have a chance to get rare, hard to find scents like L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum, the extreme version, things of that nature, if you hit the first link down below and sign up to my mailing list, anytime something like that does come into stock, I send out an email allowing you the opportunity to pick it up for yourself, because things like this do sell out really quickly. And I do the same with clones. You know, there are some clones out there that are really good, and because they are really good, they sell out quick and then they're gone for a while. Like Alhambra the Tux, great new tuxedo clone, $25 scent. Lattafa Assad, similar deal. Sauvage Elixir clone, 25 bucks. They sell quick and then they're gone and then you can't get them, right? And so when they do come back in stock, I send out an email. Once these hit the big discounters, I will be sending out emails as well, which will make it a little bit easier for you to get these. So hit on that list. You won't be disappointed. So let's start off with the opening, you know, the scent. And I love the opening. The reason why is because they got it down. They nailed it. They really did. That cherried almond combination right off the top is so breathtaking. It's so original, you know, aside from being a clone. I mean, Guerlain was the first to really do it this way. It just stands out. It's unique and it smells gorgeous. That is what makes L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum the scent that it is. And it's one of the most important parts. So when you are doing a clone of something like that, you want to really make sure you nail that. And they did. The cherry note is so realistic. And you know, it kind of has a little bit of a slight boozy cherry. Like almost think of a Tom Ford Lost Cherry type of smell just off the very opening, and it's more so the type of cherry accord that's being used. You notice it less on skin. However, if you were to test this one on paper or, you know, cardboard or something, you get that boozy kick even more. Less or so on skin or even in the air, but it was something I wanted to point out. So when you are wearing this one and testing it, it's best to actually get it on your skin. But it does smell fantastic off the top, and you know, that's what it's all about. As you start working into the mid, the cherry kind of dissipates just a little bit. It doesn't completely go away, but it kind of steps back, makes room for more of the almond to come into play. And the almond note is what makes these so unique. So going all the way back to the Eau de Toilette, fantastic one. The Eau de Parfum, obviously. L'Intense uses it heavily along with some smoke. Extreme, I mean, you guys get the deal. All the way through to the cool and cologne versions and the new Platine Privé, the fresh ones, the more summer-oriented ones are using that almond as well. So it's very unique, and they also got down that accord very well, very close as well. Kind of dusty, creamy almond mixing with that sweetness. A little bit of tonka bean coming through to kind of give additional support to the almond and to the cherry, also adding to a little bit of a sweetness. And a little bit of a powderiness as well, kind of a dustiness. You get a little bit of leather as this one starts to settle into the dry down, ever so slightly. It doesn't turn into a leather scent by any means, but it's enough to give it a little bit more of a masculine texture. I think without notes like leather and the sandalwood and even a little bit of an incense that you get out of this one, without those supporting notes, this could go in the direction of a more unisex scent. As it sits right now, I personally don't really subscribe to it being a unisex one. That's up for debate, and that's up to just whoever's interpreting the scent and experiencing it, right? Some people will say it is, some isn't. I've smelled enough things at this point for me to not really, connect those dots. It might be for some people though. This is not your typical style of men's scent. It isn't super masculine. It isn't super woody and rugged. It's has a softer side to it. And so that's something that you might not be used to, and it might throw you off. But if you're used to sweeter scents and things of that nature, and even gourmands, you're probably not even going to bat an eye at this. So it's creamy, it's silky, it's sweet, and, almost even has a slight bit of a gourmand thing. Believe it or not, just that cherry kind of vanilla combo really gives it a, something that kind of fits into that category a little bit, but not a lot. In terms of closeness, again, they are incredibly close. And, just being forward here, a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. You always have those kind of doubts. And, for someone like me, you guys know, if you've been watching the channel, how much I love L'Homme Ideal, Eau de Parfum, and the flankers. These are some of my favorites in my collection, the EDP, the Extreme. And so naturally, I'm going to be tough on the clones. If it doesn't smell similar, I'm not going to want anything to do with it. And going into it, I'm like, yeah, are they really going to be able to get this DNA down? Because it hasn't been done yet. With as much hype as these get and as hard as they are to get, at least here in the US and Canada oftentimes, you'd think there would have been clones already. There wasn't, at least to the best of my knowledge. But this one really is doing a great job. I have to give them credit where credit is due. It's awesome. So again, we're talking Eau de Parfum concentration here. We got similar concentrations, exactly the same. And so how's performance holding up? On my skin, this one has actually been doing pretty well. It's in that 7 to 8 hour range, kind of right in there. You might get a little bit more, you might get a little bit less. It's also going to depend on the weather conditions. If you're wearing it when it's super cold, that's going to get knocked back a little bit. Warmer weather will kind of help it to do a little bit better, but you don't want to wear this when it's super warm, really. In the spring weather that we've been having, it's been doing great. I really can't complain given the price. And it's, pretty much on par with the Eau de Parfum, the real deal, that is. It's not ever been a beast mode scent. Something like L'Intense is a bit stronger. The Extreme even is a little bit stronger. So it's not to those levels. You wouldn't expect it to be. We're going, head to head here. They're pretty much on par. So I really can't complain there. I'm pretty excited about that. If this was completely weak sauce, that would change the game, but it's not. Talking about quality, Guerlain, they are known for quality, and it shows. All of my Guerlain fragrances, from the L'Homme Ideals all the way over to something a little bit more affordable like a Vetiver or something like L'Instant Guerlain and things of that nature, they're all really premium, especially for the price. They smell fantastic. This one has great quality as well. It's not quite to that level, but it's really about what you would expect to get out of, this price range. It doesn't smell cheap, but it also doesn't smell super expensive and premium and handcrafted either. So it's just kind of right there in the middle. It more than gets the job done given the price that you're paying. I gotta say, this is really good stuff. I love it. I'm excited to see it because this is a way for more people to get their nose on this DNA. If you don't want to spend the money on a bottle, if you can't find a bottle, even if the decants are likely a little bit overpriced because, again, it's hard to locate this stuff, you now have another option. Worst case scenario, you don't like it, you can, give it away, maybe sell it get some of your money back. More so, best case scenario though, if you know what you're into and you're making a smart blind buy here, you buy this, you end up loving it. Now you've got something that's affordable that you can wear, and maybe someday you'll dive into the real thing. You don't even have to. You could, and then if you have that real thing and you want to preserve it, you could wear the clone every single day, burn through it. It's not a lot of money. You can save your real deal for special occasions. There's many uses for these clones. That's one of them. It's a great way to kind of dip your feet into this scent at a lower price. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. Supreme L'Homme Eau de Parfum amazing one. Happy to see it. Hopefully you guys will check it out as well if you're kind of after this DNA on a budget. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.